A few months ago, the homie 1000 started challenging some of his art friends to art battles. He challenged a total of 12 artists across 4 battles. And the winners from those 4 battles are battling today. But first, we gotta find out exactly what we're gonna be painting.
Oh, there's everybody. Okay, how's everybody doing?
Hey, hi.
What up? What up? I'm good.
We have a very, very special art battle this time. We're gonna be redesigning album covers in our own style, but this just so happens to be a championship battle. We have Jeremy Biggers, the winner of the thrift shop art battle. Hello, Jeremy.
What up? What up? How are you?
Good to have you back. We have Noah, the very first winner of the skateboard art battle. Then we have Nic Mac, the winner of the shoe battle. Welcome back. And I, at the buzzer, finally won one. The redesigning movie posters. Okay, on this wheel, I have years broken out into 5-year chunks, going from 1975 all the way to 2025. Let's figure out the time frame of our albums. 1995 to 1999. I got a wheel of genres. Jeremy, is there anything that's kind of jumping out to you as like a genre you would love to explore?
I need that R&B and hip hop because that's like the golden era of hip hop. So I need that. I need that hip hop.
What do you think, Nick? Anything you would love to see this land on?
Yeah, 90s hip hop would be really cool. Visually, that's stuff that I'm really inspired by. So fingers crossed.
For sure.
What do you think, Noah? Are you going
I think we're all on the same page.
The 90s genre that we are doing is rock. 90s rock.
Okay. That's cool.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
The dreaded random object wheel, and the item is chain.
Chain.
Hey.
Easy.
Okay. Bet.
But with that being said, we have our prompts. Now it's time for us to go redesign some album covers. I will see you guys at the final reveal.
So it's been a couple of days. I've been trying to rack my brain about what makes the most sense in terms of what album cover to use. I was in high school from 95 to 96 to 99. And if it was hip hop, that's probably the genre of music I know the most about. So I would have loved that to have been the genre, but rock is probably what I know very little about. Like, I still don't even listen to a lot of rock now. I think something like a Blink-182 Enema of the State or Rage Against the Machine's Evil Empire album cover, like the Sublime, like self-titled album. Those are all such iconic covers to me. I remember seeing those even as a person that wasn't a fan of rock. I remember seeing, my classmates with those album covers. Those just feel too iconic to me, and I feel like they would work against me if I tried to redesign those. I also don't know what we're considering rock. Like, are we going with what Apple Music or any of the streaming services consider rock, or are we going with, because I think some things have been like reclassified now as like alternative or pop music that we would have considered rock back then. I gotta do some digging and I gotta figure some things out, but I'm up for the challenge. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna definitely make this work. So I'm back home now and I'm going through and just trying to find what albums even came out during that era. Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers is an album that I actually have listened to quite a bit. I'm just scared that it's so popular that somebody else is going to pick that as well. Somebody I didn't consider is Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz has an album called 5 that came out during this era that had the single American Woman, and I think there's something I can really, really do with that. So right now, the Lenny Kravitz is where I'm leaning, but I'm going to keep looking to make sure that's exactly what I want to do. I think I got it. So I had absolutely every intention to paint this on a canvas or a panel. The timeline is just not going to work out for me. What I want to do is going to take a little bit longer than I have time to do with oil paint. I could do it with acrylic, I could do it with airbrush, but it's just going to take me, a week longer than I have. With us having such a truncated timeline, I feel like it makes more sense for me to do it digitally. I know people are going to be mad. I know people are going to have their feelings about it. I'm going to do it digitally because it makes the most sense for what I'm trying to do in the next stage. I could either paint it with oil and rush it and it not be what I want it to be, or I can do it digitally and get it to exactly what I need it to be. And with Ten and Noah and Nick, all of them are super talented. They all won for a reason, so I got to pull out all stops and make sure that I can make the best piece that I can make. Spent like the last, 20, 30, 40 minutes, somewhere in there, perfecting the sketch. That gives me a pretty good roadmap to do what I want to do. And now all that's left to do is to color it. So I'm using Procreate on an iPad Pro. I don't really do a lot of iPad paintings, maybe like 1 or 2 per year. But every time I go back in and do it, I'm always reminded how much I enjoy doing them. It's very much getting a practice in stretching a different muscle. I paint almost every day in the real world with like oils or acrylics, and going into Procreate and painting this way kind of just, it stretches a muscle that, I forget that I have from time to time. And so it feels good to be able to create so it doesn't just feel the same as it does in my everyday studio practice. One of the things that I didn't consider when I decided to do a digital piece was that I would be able to work on it at home. Since our timeline is so aggressive and I have to spend as much time on this as possible because what I'm painting is going to be really, really, really tedious, it helps that I don't have to be tied to my studio for the entire process. Being able to sit at home and be comfortable, sitting on the couch or sitting at my desk watching my favorite shows, it's going to be nice to be able to work on this from the house. Yo, what up, bro?
How you doing?
Oh, trying to make this happen.
Just calling to check in on my competition. How is the progress going on the artwork?
I would have felt a lot better if the genre was a different genre, but because we went with rock, I'm struggling a little bit more than I probably would have. But also on that same token, maybe I would have been struggling because I had too much to pick from if it was like hip hop or a genre I was more familiar with. So
you're all about the 90s hip hop, but your knowledge of rock is pretty light. You're not much of a rock guy during that time period.
Nah, like if it was 2000s, like during that Linkin Park System of a Down era, I probably would have been okay. But before then, I don't know that I know too much about that era.
I know, there were so many records I thought of and everyone was like, 2001, 2001, 2001.
Yeah, nah, same.
But yeah, I am just experiencing a lot of like freezing up because these records are so monumental to me and they meant so much to me at the time and still do mean so much that like, you're in a position where you don't know a whole lot about it and I'm in a position where I know too much. Man knows too much. So,
yeah.
Besides the general lack of rock knowledge from that era, what has been one of the most challenging parts, do you think?
Man, I think probably the most challenging part is just trying to pick something that you guys aren't gonna pick. Because I don't want to do a situation where y'all are picking the same stuff that I'm picking or y'all are doing the same album that I'm doing, because then it's a completely different competition of a head-to-head in that situation. So I want to pick something that's as far away from everyone else as possible, but also not so obscure that people are like, what is this? I don't even know what this album is.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, there's some heavy hitters in this battle. What do you think? What do you think your chances are? You think you got this one in the bag?
I don't. I mean, we all want to win, so of course we're all like putting our best foot forward, but yeah, I don't know. I'm never good at percentages. I never know what the people want. Like anytime I'm pretty confident about something, no, it doesn't work out in my favor. But then when I'm like, yeah, nah, it's cool. And then people are like, no, we love that. So I'm not good at the percentage game.
So you just got to do what you love and hope for the best.
That part, exactly.
All right, man. Well, I can't wait to see what you made. The final reveal call is just around the corner. I got to get back to work.
Yeah, same. All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Peace.
All right. So I wanted to come to an actual record store so that I can get a little bit of inspiration on, how things were designed back then and get something that's as authentic to the era as possible while still being true to what I do as a designer. All right, so I'm back from the record store. I picked up a couple of albums. What I picked up isn't really relevant. I just wanted to have different examples of how the covers themselves are made. Yes, we are designing a cover, and I've done that through digital painting, but I also want to print a version of it that's a physical copy of the album cover. So the album that I chose is Prince's Gold Experience. When I think of Prince, I think Prince is a R&B pop artist. I don't see him as a rock artist, but this album is classified as a rock album, and so I thought it would be best to do someone that other people wouldn't do. That way I don't duplicate what somebody else is doing in the competition. So I picked up a few, like I said, records so that I can get the dimensions and measurements and figure out how I'm going to print it. I have an idea in mind of what I want to do that takes what I've been doing digitally and marrying it to something that will live in the real world. So I have the records here that I'm gonna disassemble and mess with in a minute. I have my cutting board here. I got this clear piece of acetate that I'm going to use to do some other stuff too. So we're gonna figure some things out, and we're going to make something pretty cool that I think people aren't expecting. When I decided that I was going to paint someone made of complete solid gold, I knew it was going to be a tedious process. I completely underestimated how tedious a process it was going to be. I was having to change my brushes and size and opacity of the brushes maybe every couple of brush strokes. And so it made the process go far slower than if I had even, done oil paint in the first place. So, that's a lesson learned for me that sometimes you think something's gonna go quicker than it actually is. And, there's just other things that you just don't account for. And I just severely underestimated how many times I would have to change the brush size, the opacity, and the color. I almost forgot to tell you guys what my concept was. With the name of the album being The Gold Experience and the lead single on that album being The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, it was a no-brainer that I was going to paint a woman on the cover of this. The issue became, how would I paint the woman? And almost immediately I realized painting a woman that was completely made of gold would be the most eye-catching. Because remember, back when this album came out, the whole goal was to catch people's attention as they walked through the record store. So it became a really obvious solution for me. So I just finished the main portion of the design. I was really excited. I'm like, yo, I finally finished it. I'm about to move on to the text and add all the other stuff. Wrong. I forgot to add the chain. It's literally the only requirement for this entire challenge. I mean, it's not the literal only one, but it's one of the only stipulations for this entire challenge, and I somehow forgot to add it. So I got a couple of ideas of how I can add it pretty simply without it looking like it was just added on last minute. But I have to go back and keep working and keep painting to make sure that it's added to the design. No biggie, you know, this happens. I'm glad I checked my notes, and I'm glad I figured it out now and not on the call when we unveil this, because that would have been catastrophic. So we're gonna get back to it, and we're gonna add that chain. I almost forgot that I needed to design the text for this, so I have to go into Illustrator and figure out exactly what text layout I want. And for me, it's not just about painting the album cover, it's about designing something that you would actually see on record store shelves. One of my favorite things about album covers when I was a kid was when they did extras, like little special things. And so what I'm gonna do for mine is, once I print the final painting, I'm going to use this clear acetate as another element to add decals and text and a logo. I remember Prince during this era is when he changed his name to the symbol. And so I want to incorporate the symbol as part of the design without it being a permanent part of the design. So I'll add the symbol to this acetate sheet, and then you can remove it and add it as you see fit as the fan. Because like I said, that was one of my favorite things as a kid, is to get those like specialty album covers. So yeah, I got my work cut out for me, but I think it's going to be something that adds that extra little element of surprise that could get me more votes. So let's find out. Let's get to work and make that happen and do the real thing now. So one of the other things that I wanted to do for this design, with it being called the Gold Experience, I thought it'd be a dope addition to have like some gold foil text. So let's add some text to this and see what we got. So yeah, now that I know that the extra stuff that I'm trying to do is gonna work, I have to finish painting this chain, get it printed, and do the unveil call. I know you guys are ready to see the finished product, and of course I'm ready to show it to you. But before we do that, as always, we got a few housekeeping things we got to take care of. The first of which, make sure you're following me on all social media platforms here on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. Make sure you're following all the other artists on their various social media platforms here on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. And also, when you're done watching my video, go over to check out tenhun's video so that you can see everyone's completed pieces. Also, make sure you vote on the community tab on his page. Vote for your favorite. Maybe I wasn't your favorite, maybe somebody else's was your favorite. Vote for whichever one you liked the most. And also check out everybody else's YouTube videos as well. And this time in this battle, every single artist in this battle has a video up here on YouTube as well. So go check out Nic's video on her channel. Go check out Noah's video on his channel. And yeah, let's get to the unveiling. All right, so that's gonna do it for this one. Make sure you guys like and subscribe here on YouTube, and make sure you hit that bell in the corner so that you're notified every single time that I post. And remember to ask yourself, what have I done today to help me live my dreams tomorrow? I'll catch you guys on the next one.